Hey, Andriana here. Now, Sally and James Brooks are master educators in the hairdressing world, and we're going to be having a little chat with them, and they're going to give us some indicators and ideas of how they've made a successful business and what to do if you are starting out in the industry. I can't wait. Stay right there. Scissorboy.com, hello and welcome. I'm joined by the very lovely Jamie Brooks and Sally Brooks, of course, of the very well-known Brooks & Brooks in the heart of central London. Now, we've got lots of questions, lots of things that obviously the viewers want to know about how you set up, how you've progressed since you've run the salon and everything about you that we could possibly find out. So how long has Brooks & Brooks been going?
Okay, Brooks & Brooks tomorrow will be 9 years old.
Yeah.
We made it! Yeah.
Yes, 9 candles on the cake.
We opened in November 2001.
Okay. So what made you think, yes, we're ready to start Brooks & Brooks?
I think we've probably both got different opinions of that. I'm a great believer in when you start to have your own opinions and you start to change the company you work for, it's time to do it yourself.
Right.
I think so many people work within a company and they say, oh, but I would do it like this and I would do it like this. It's like, go on then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't keep saying it, so go on. I think we just got to the point it was just time for us to try and do our own thing, really. You know, you kind of reach the pinnacles of what you can do within that company. It's time to then go, right, can we do this on our own? Are we brave enough to give it a go?
Yeah.
So anybody out there that's thinking of doing it, go on. It's really good fun. It's hard work.
Yeah.
And it's really good fun. I mean, we've gone from a staff of 6 people when we opened.
I was going to ask you how big your team
and we're
is
now 33.
Yeah,
and it's hard being the boss. I wouldn't say to anybody it's not hard being the boss, because the expectancy of what people expect from you is hard.
Right.
But what you get from it is just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're managing a big team, and I can imagine you've learnt as you've gone on.
Yep.
So how do you maintain your staff? How do you keep the incentive going? How do you keep them happy? How do you then maybe bring new people in? How does that process work?
We're very specific when we interview somebody of what that person wants to achieve with us. I think the worst thing that can happen is you join a company and they overpromise you.
Right.
We never do that. We won't take on 2 people that want the same ambition. We won't take on 2 people that are the same, because we can only feed one of them what they want. So I think that's why we have such a varied team, is we try and bring in people that they want something different to what the team wants that we have. So we then get positive competitiveness instead of negative competitiveness.
Right, yes.
And that's a great vibe when you get that in the salon. I mean, I would say we have the most competitive staff that I've ever worked with.
Right, okay.
From a creative point of view.
Yeah.
But it's positive competitiveness. They work very well together as a team.
I can imagine they bounce off very well from each other, and they keep each other fresh as well, being different.
You have to, yeah.
The most important thing is you've got to motivate people and give people what motivates them.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest mistakes that I hear from the other side, from staff that say, I want to do more session work or I want to do more education, and the boss goes, oh great, we'll give you a pay rise. But that's not what
money
person asks
doesn't
for.
motivate them.
Do you know what I mean?
So you have to listen to what it actually is that motivates them.
Yeah. Depending on the people, a lot of people want to play like a much longer game. I mean, there's no point in saying, I want to be the biggest stage hairdresser in the world and get paid for it tomorrow, but you have to start now. So they're playing the longer game and they want to be fed that. Yeah. Whereas some people are like, no, I want to be really busy in the salon and earn money now.
Right.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, you have to motivate people with what motivates them.
Yeah. So I suppose that goes in line with the targets and incentives, etc.
Yeah,
that goes along with
completely.
It. Okay. Now, obviously, we talked about that side. Obviously, you've got plans for new salons at all, or anything coming out?
It's something we're looking into at the moment.
Yeah.
What we've always said is that if we have staff that have been with us for over 2 years and they would like to experience something on their own, we would rather they experienced it with us. Yeah. So we are looking more for partnership type things as opposed to the franchise type thing.
But we do want to do more salons. I mean, one of the reasons I want to do it is because we realise that otherwise our staff reach very much a glass ceiling.
Where do you go next?
I mean, where do you go? I mean, Sally and I are obviously the directors and owners of this company, and whether you're the manager or not, you're not going to go through us.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is move sideways and have your own gig.
Yeah.
And also as well, you know, you spend so many years developing people, growing them, feeding them client base, teaching them how to educate, teaching them this, and just as they get to that point where they have everything that you do, they open in competition.
And then that's a shame.
And then they compete against you, and you think, well,
it makes life harder.
Yeah, why? You know, when really we could have given them a 2 or 3 year head start, because of course the brand will attract. The most important thing is the staff.
So what's been happening? I see lots of awards up there. And you should be celebrating them. It's great.
No, it's been a hell of a journey, obviously, in that 9 years. We've done London 3 times, we've done Men's 3 times. I think we've done 9 of the
Creative
Head Awards in different things, from platform artists to directional looks to wanted looks to... I mean, in the first 2 or 3 years, we basically entered anything and everything we possibly could, and we put heart and soul into it. And that obviously really paid off, because then what it did is it attracted us to people who also were motivated by the same things that we were motivated by, and then therefore they entered, and so it's become this almost this monster.
It's not a monster.
It's a nice monster.
But no, and obviously winning the awards has been hugely beneficial. From the perspective of it gives you something to market. Obviously, winning London Heritage of the Year was fantastic, and I think the first time you win it, it's like, okay, cool. Then you've actually got to go back and win it again.
Yeah. That's a very interesting one, because at the moment, some of the team we feel are ready to enter London Hairdresser of the Year. But I want to say we don't allow them to enter it. What we believe is, I say to some of my team, if you're going to win London Hairdresser of the Year, you're representing the country. You have got to be able to hold that award and do with it what it deserves. And you will not enter it until you can hold it.
It needs more than just a one-off.
You can't just win it because it's a fluke. Because if you win it, you've got to represent the country, you've got to represent London Hairdressers, you've got to stand on a stage and promote what it is that why you've won it. So you've got all this learning to do first, and then when you do win it, because they will, and when you do win it, you're ready for it.
Well, there's a lot of people who've won like awards sort of singly over the years that just disappear like sort of into obscurity. And they come along, nice set of pictures, big budget,
win it
good
and go.
And they kind of disappear. Whereas, you know, we very much believe in the fact that the staff have to be representative of that award. So they have to stand up, you know, they've got to talk to
be accounted for with that award.
And, you know, and I think everyone seems to think you win an award, you go to PR and you go, right, I'm on the Heritage of the Year.
Yeah, it doesn't work
like PR me. You know, and as if by magic, the PR is going to go, oh yeah, brilliant, we'll get you in this, that and everything. And it doesn't work like that. You've got to have a story behind it, you've got to be able to, you know, when the journalists come in, you've got to impress them, you've got to have something new, you've got to be dynamic. You can't just say, oh, this is my award, just, you know, like make it famous. And that's what so many people actually got to believe. But I think there's a huge misconception there, because the people that have done it, you know, they've won it 2, 3 times, they've already had big companies behind them, and they've already had that establishment. They didn't just pluck out of nowhere and
they've got the basis
it's
to
really good basis behind it. That's why we never put someone in like too early. We've got them to do a couple of years. We've got 2 people probably who are ready to do London now. That's why, I mean, Sally and I can't enter anymore because we're in the Hall of Fame now. So
right, I was going to ask you, right, okay.
Yeah.
Damn Hall of Fame.
I'm competitive. Yeah.
Finally, what's the next thing for you? What's happening next? What's the next exciting thing happening for Brooks and Brooks?
Oh, do you know what? We're one of them companies, and this sounds really strange. We never know what's coming next.
It's quite nice, though. It's exciting.
We love it, but it's quite scary sometimes. Everyone always says, "What's your next goal for the next year or 5 years?" And we always go, "What's going on next week?
What's going on tomorrow? Never mind next week."
I mean, the most important thing I think to us is our team. Is nurturing them, because there's some amazing talent at the moment, and I think it's trying to, again, like I said when we interviewed them right at the beginning, some of them have been with us years now. You know what we promised them and what we said we could achieve. Now we'd like to achieve that with them. Apart from that, whatever's around the corner. I think hairdressing's a creative industry. It's like really motivational, and it changes all the time, and you've got to be ready to change. If you have too many plans in place, something else comes along, and you've made a decision to do something else, you miss it.
Right.
So we tend to, I mean, obviously we know what we're doing with the salon, we know what we're doing with our team. What we're doing as a company, whatever's around the corner.
Sounds good.
And I kind of think, you know, like the way we do it, it's like when everyone says, what's your target for next year? My accountants is down with this as well. What's your target? What's your... Whereas we don't actually ever work to a financial target. Right. We never work to a list. We just basically say...
Only part of my spend it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you obviously have to make a certain amount of money to cover the rent, but really, we always just believe that if we do what we do the best, and doors open.
Automatically comes.
And we say that to our team as well, don't ever chase money. Money will always find you when you're ready.
Yeah.
And it's right, when you're ready to do it, the jobs will step in. You don't have to chase them. If you chase them, you're going to miss anything creative.
Focus on the right things.
Focus on the right things, everything else joins in.
If you just focus on being as good as you can possibly be in your industry, do you know what opportunity come up to you?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's why we have almost a blank page. Our goal plan from year to year is just blank this paper. Just do what we do well.
And then everything
else. And do you know what
will
will happen?
Yeah.
Product company might come and say, do you want to make products? Someone might say, do you want to open an academy? Someone says, do you want to have another salon? You know, like, but you've got to be in a position, obviously, that you can do it.
Well, do you know what? I think whatever happens, it's going to be big. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Thank you
Sally.
very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And are you ready?
Yes.
Of course you are.
Yes, sir.
Sit, snip.